my channel. So today I have a new video for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about tips and tricks for beginners in makeup. I thought I'd start small and then I'll go into tutorials and all that sort of thing. So if you would like to hear my favorite tips with makeup, please keep on watching. So first thing is foundation. Now I have a few little tips for this one. So firstly, less is more. So I think you need to start with a little bit and then work yourself up to a fuller coverage. I feel like if you just popping 3 pumps of foundation on your cheeks and then just going in for gold, it gets very thick, it gets very clunky, it gets very cakey. So always start off with maybe 1 pump and then work your way up to a fuller coverage. I feel like this also wastes a lot of product because most of the time it's just soaking into the sponge or the brush or whatever you're using to apply your foundation. So starting less also saves you a lot of With foundation, I also recommend applying it with a sponge instead of a brush. I feel like this gives just a more a not so textured coverage. It gives you a flawless coverage. I feel like you use up less foundation from your sponge to a brush, whereas sometimes the brush picks up a lot of the foundation and you're wasting a lot of product that way. I really recommend using a sponge because it just gives you that flawless base, that flawless canvas to start. Lastly, for foundation, I recommend matching your foundation to your neck instead of your arm or your hand. I find that a lot of the time my hand or my arm is quite brown compared to my neck because laying in the sun, if the sun is hitting my body, most of the time you'll get your arms, that's fine, you'll get your hands even, but when you're laying in the sun or you're standing up in the sun, your neck never gets direct sunlight, so you're always going to be lighter on your neck than you are on your arms. So matching your foundation from your cheek down to your neck is a really good tip, just to so you're not having orange foundation, so you don't look like an Oompa Loompa pretty much. So yeah, please make sure, or you don't have to if you don't want to, but I always match my foundation to my neck instead of my Next, I'm moving into powder. So firstly, I use minimal powder. This is a trick I've only literally learned in the last few months. I used to get my powder, my MAC powder, Australis powder, whatever, get a dense brush and pack that shit on. Like literally I would rub it into my powder and then dab it onto my face. So my face literally changed color from the powder to from the color of the foundation to the powder because I put that much on. Please, for the love of God, this does not help. It does not help your oily skin. It doesn't help anything. Use minimal powder. You only want to be using powder to just set the foundation in place. If you're already using liquids, I do not recommend using a full-on hardcore powder to go on top because it makes you look cakey. It's just a big floppy. Use a translucent powder or you can use a coloured powder. I personally use a coloured powder, but go really light-handed. I use a beauty blender for this, like I mentioned in my makeup tips for oily skin. I use a beauty blender to just dab the foundation into your skin. Even if you do use a dense brush, I just feel like it doesn't hold your makeup up. If you only use a BB cream, then I would recommend using a dense brush to apply the powder because that's your base foundation. If you're using a liquid based foundation, I do not recommend using a brush. I just think it works so much better with a sponge. But if you are using a brush, just a light fluffy brush, just remember always go really light-handedly with your foundation just so it's not getting all cakey. Next is bronzer, and this one I learned from a YouTuber a very long time ago, and for the life of me I cannot remember her name, I'm so sorry. But when you apply bronzer, I always apply my bronzer from the 3/4 down my cheekbone, in between my cheekbone and underneath my cheekbone. I don't apply it directly underneath. I will always apply my foundation. I will always apply my bronzer on the bottom halves of my cheek as well as underneath. I just feel like it gives you that fresh summer glow and it doesn't look muddy right underneath your cheek. My next tip for you guys is for lippy. Now lippy, I have learned if you're started getting into makeup, I always recommend using nudes or light pinks or anything like that, just because it is so much easier to work with. If you're using bold reds, bold purples, bold blues, who knows what, it is so difficult to get that perfect line if you really haven't practiced that much. So honestly, if you're practicing with a light pink, nudes, light browns, anything like that, it really helps you grow your skills in makeup, I think, when you're using the light colors, and you can practice and practice, and it's not going to look all uneven or anything like that. And it keeps your confidence up as well if you're using lighter colors and it's looking good on your face. I find that nudes look good on every skin tone. I have found that I don't even use any other colors because I just think they all look so wrong on my face. So if you're not into lipsticks, I would get into light pinks and nudes to start off with because they suit every skin. My next tip is eyes. So you need to know the shape of your eyes. Now there is a video on determining your shape, and I will link it in the description down below if you want to learn the shape of your eyes. This actually taught me my eye shape. So I have upturned eyes, so basically my eyes go like this. So the bottom halves of my tear ducts are lower than this part of my eyeball. So if you know the shape of your eye, there's so many tips and tricks out there for your shapes of eyes. So I know there is 101 million videos on hooded eyes. If you have hooded eyes, there are so many videos out there that can help you. So knowing the shape of your eye is really important, because then you're putting the correct colors and you're putting the correct formulas on your eyes to make your eyes stand out. You don't want to be accentuating, not the bad parts, but you just don't want to be if you have hooded eyes, for example, you don't want to be accentuating your hoods. You want to be making them look less hooded. Lastly, and this is my lifesaver, eyelashes. Now I know not a lot of people are into fake eyelashes. Most people just get eyelash extensions, and that's fine, but honestly, I don't do anything else except this. So when you're buying your eyelashes, you need to buy eyelashes that do not have that big thick black band on the rim. If they have that black band, I just find they are so hard to maneuver and just to work with, because the ends pop up on each side. They're just the biggest struggle of my life. So if you get the eyelashes that have the clear bands on the rims, oh my God, they blend into your eyes seamlessly because there's not that big thick band sitting on top of your face. So if you get eyelashes with the thin clear bands on them, they just sit well into your eyes. They don't pop up. They're just so easy to work with. They're easy to maneuver, and they just look amazing all the time, because then you don't have those really thick, disgusting, bushy ones. And they're not sitting on top of your face, they're sitting into your eyes. The eyelashes I use are from Clara, I believe it is, from Shop Miss A. I'll link the Shop Miss A down below for you. Literally everything's $1. Literally everything's $1. So I buy my eyelashes in bulk, so I think I got 15. I'm getting a shipment soon, but they're literally $1. So $1.40 in Australian, but $1 in USD. That's everything for this video. Please leave me a comment down below if you have any requests for any new videos you want me to do. I'm still very new at this, so I'm sort of just testing the waters. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. I hope you have a great day or afternoon or morning. See you later.